production is brought to you by DHBN, WTHC Radio, and Stoner Records.
Wake up, it's Monday, time to tune in. Granny's on the mic with a cheeky little grin. Talking about terps, tinctures, and trees. Dropping that knowledge like a breeze through the leaves. She's been rolling joints since 73. Knew the about about weed before the PhDs. Now she's here to share what the doctors miss. Every bud she touches got a healing twist. Granny's got the good stuff, yes she do. CBD, THC, and a cup of tea too. Lighten up your mind and your endo system. She's the queen of green, better not forget 'em. It's Medical Monday, pull up a chair. Granny Cannabis is always gonna care. From pain relief to feeling blessed, Granny's ganja wisdom is the best. She's not your average cookie baking type, unless that cookie's got canna butter right. Talking tinctures, topicals, RSO, giving out the facts every patient should know. No shame in the game when you're living in pain. Granny's got your back, sunshine or rain. She's the medicine mama with a heart of gold, and every story she tells, pure freedom bold. Granny's got the good stuff, yes she do. CBD, THC, and a cup of tea too.
Hey, hello, Miss Kenzie.
Hello.
Hi, so happy to be here. Thank you for being here on Medical Monday.
Thanks for having me.
I forgot the volume on my phone.
We're echoing.
You know, I gotta have one tech problem a day or it's just not right. So, thank you for being here today. I actually wanted to kind of update everybody. How are the cats in the cat rescue doing right now?
They're doing great. I think last time we spoke, I had a pretty brand new litter. They're
Right.
now 8 weeks old.
Wow, that
So
doesn't even.
they're running rampant. They're going nuts. And I have 2 other nursing moms in my care as well right now.
Oh my goodness.
It's been insane.
And I know recently you went and Community Cats did a large trap neuter release operation.
It wasn't one of our largest, but it's up there.
No, I do want to
20
discuss
cats.
this part. And this isn't medical, but it is a very important thing that we as people kind of want to watch out for. The problem that they ran into with this particular trap neuter release was a neighbor's son who decided that since there were so many cats, he was going to get rid of them himself with a gun.
Yeah.
With a
He
firearm.
took it upon himself. By the time, so it originally started, there was around 50 cats. By the time we heard about it, there were only like a handful left. And so somebody had came to us to get their cats fixed because they took in 7. And that's how we found out about what the guy was doing. She said
Right.
that she originally had taken in 8. And the 8th one had a wound, and they took it to the vet, and it was confirmed. So we spoke to neighbors too, and they said they would always hear the gunshots go off. And
that's a very tragic consequence of people not neutering, not spaying, of people just dumping cats off at a farm and saying, hey,
Yep.
farms always need barn cats. So, you know, we as, I know, guys, everyone in the chat is just, and it's hard to discuss it, but that's the reality of some of what she goes through. And the stress of that really takes a toll.
It does. Honestly, probably I say one of the hardest parts is dealing with the people.
Right.
Um, because
Even
we
the
do
feral
not
cats are kind of that they have a definite
they
reason.
we usually we know what they're gonna do, but it's the people that we have no idea.
Right. Right.
We meet some pretty scary people. A friend of mine had been threatened. This lady threatened her and her child because I don't know if it was because she wouldn't take a cat in or she wouldn't give a cat back, something to that extent. So,
Ooh, it
yeah,
gets, yeah. Yeah. And that's why, license your animals, microchip your animals, because then you and your animal are protected.
absolutely.
Absolutely. Now dealing with
One of the
that kind of
first things we
stress.
do is we check for
Yes,
microchips.
absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. I mean, it makes complete sense. When you're unwinding from that, is it a choice of, is there a specific, like a type that you go by, or do you go like today was too much? I'm going right to the RSO because I need rest.
um, it really depends on what I have at the moment. I usually go with an indica anyways.
Right. Bless you again.
Excuse me. Uh, so I usually go with an indica, and I've actually been diving into concentrates. So
Really?
dabs have been where I've found,
That's fantastic.
yeah,
That
it's
is
been,
absolutely fantastic. Now I know that originally we wanted Theo to be here. Um,
yeah.
can you talk about Theo and his condition and how his search has been going as far as finding what's working for? I know he's had a lot of better results with cannabinoids than with some of the medications the doctors are trying to give him for his seizure condition.
Yeah.
When did he start really working more with cannabinoids to as a medical source?
I feel like he's always kind of seen it as that, as a medical tool, kind of.
Right.
Um, his lifestyle before meeting me was a little different. So I can't speak for that, but I know since we've been together, it has been trying to find the right meds to work, not just for the seizures, but for mental health as well, have been difficult. Finding
Because like you and
doctors.
I, he has PTSD as well, yes?
Oh yeah, and
Okay.
a slew of other ones too.
Right, right. Which is not uncommon these days.
No, it's not. But finding doctors that would work with him and not just, like, oh, try this one or try this one, just trying the random ones. We finally found a neurologist at the University of Michigan, and she sat down with us and she went through like pretty much every single detail from the moment he gets up. And we were able to kind of pinpoint between that and him getting the EKG done. They were able to pinpoint where the seizures were happening in his brain. And so they got him on a proper medication, pharmaceuticals.
Good.
But I will say there has been nothing that comes close to helping with the after effects of a seizure than the cannabinoids. Um,
Right,
I mean, the first thing we do after he has a seizure is we decide what would be the best way for him to intake it, whether it be an edible or smoking, depending on,
how he's feeling.
yeah, because it can be pretty, I don't know how to explain it. It can be pretty rough afterwards. So it's
Right,
also a matter of, do we want to do the edibles and wait half an hour to an hour, or do we want to smoke and get that instant effect?
right. Now, a question, how are his sleep patterns? Does that seem
That
to affect the whole thing, or?
it does. He has a hard time sleeping, and lack of sleep can definitely induce a seizure.
Right.
Um, so between the edibles have been working really well for that, for sleeping.
Good.
But
Good.
he's also had to take trazodone as well.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that's not particularly necessarily something that he per se wants. He would prefer to
No.
be more natural with his
Oh yeah.
medication.
Yeah. And that's
And
how it started off, but then we get, you try melatonin, which is a little more natural, but you're still not he wasn't getting the I can't word today. He wasn't
no,
getting
that's
the
okay.
results
He
that he
wasn't getting the
wanted.
results. Right. Right.
So he wasn't able to sleep still, even though he was taking, the melatonin or whatever other over the counter stuff.
Right. Right. And they always, oh, well, just like this many milligrams of melatonin, try this many milligrams. Well,
And then at one point, then you're up to like 100, and you're like, well, shoot, now I just feel crappy.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. And it is not, I have to say this. I have to ask this question. Your parents, when you started dating someone who had seizures and had these difficulties and needed medical marijuana, was it easy for your parents to transition to having someone in their lives as well that um was on the same journey in different ways as you medically with the marijuana? Did they say, no, no, this is a bad influence? Or did they recognize
no,
it for what it was?
they definitely, I feel like it was recognized for what it was. I mean, just a few days into like really seeing each other, he was staying at my house for a few days around Christmas time a few years ago. And Christmas Eve, he had a seizure, and it was the first one
Oh,
that I had seen.
right,
Because he had one right before Thanksgiving that year, but I wasn't with him. We were
right,
still talking at that point, but I wasn't physically with him.
right.
So that was the first one that we saw. So it happened pretty quickly, and I mean, because of with me smoking and my brain injury, I feel like it was pretty easy. We have a lot of the same limitations and difficulties as far as that goes, because I mean, when you have a seizure, it damages your brain every time.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Uh,
That's a whole fear that, and that causes an anxiety for not just him, but for you as well.
oh yeah, because we're worried, you don't know when it's gonna happen again. Before when we first got together, he was having seizures like every month. So like
Wow.
yeah, that first year he had one right before Thanksgiving, and then he had one right before
Christmas.
Christmas.
Wow.
And then he I'd say probably 6 months later is when we saw the neurologist at U of M, and he got on proper
Okay.
medication. So he did have one shortly after that, I feel. I just don't remember the date. And then he went 2 years without having a seizure again.
Which is incredible.
Yep. So his
And that
last
was the
one was,
combination of the new meds and the cannabinoids working together. And he
oh
went
yeah.
2 years. That's amazing.
He had never gone 2 years in his life without having a seizure.
Wow.
So
That's huge.
it was huge.
Yeah. Wow. Did they, I mean, okay, this is like a really personal, but it's kind of is it an inevitability that he is going to have one again?
Um, I mean, yeah, at this point, there's no telling when, but he probably will have them for the rest of his life. It's just a matter of making them less often.
Right. And you guys have definitely been succeeding on that. And that's incredible.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Wow. Okay. So I have a ton more questions for you. I always do. I always do. Now, I personally, because I know you and your family, I know that there is a lot of MS that runs in your family.
Oh, yes.
Very much so. And have the people in your family with MS been using medical marijuana to try and help their symptoms as well?
Oh, absolutely. One of the things, because when I was starting to experience some symptoms, one of the things that was brought up was maybe I have MS. And one of the first things that my aunt told me was, do not stop smoking.
Yes. Yes. Brilliant lady. Yep.
So, yep. I mean, for as long as I can remember, my aunt Cindy had it or has it for as long as I can remember. And she's always smoked.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been normal for my family. um,
Which is just startling. I mean, it's so that particular county is so there's so many people that come down with MS. And what did they say it was? It was the pollution from
they
Chicago.
they said they were starting to think it might have been something in the water. Yep.
It's just so uncanny for per capita to have that many people with
It's crazy.
mysterious musculature digestive things and
Yep.
and MS. And yeah,
Yeah.
it is. And it is very prevalent in that county to the point where, well, how many dispensaries are in your county?
We've got two right down the road from each other. And then there's one by the clinic. And then if you go, up the highway about 5 miles, there's another one.
So there's in just this one county, there are absolutely several.
Yep.
And that's because there is a genuine need, not just
Oh, yeah.
for relaxation, but for the medicinal side of it.
Absolutely.
Oh, now, when you are looking at your different concentrates and stuff, what is it that you personally for having head injuries? Um, I hear
Yeah.
y'all, sister. Yeah. Yes, the side effects are
Oh, yeah.
incredible.
Yep.
The
It's
and
insane.
then they give you another pill to combat
Combat
those
what?
side
Yeah.
effects. And then
And
you've
then you're
got two
just
side effects going on, so then they give you a third pill. And when this young lady first met me years and years and years ago, in between all the prescriptions, I was taking maybe 20 pills a day. And with a paralyzed stomach, I was pretty much just full of pills. There wasn't room for food.
right.
And now, using medical cannabis in a responsible way, I'm down to one pill a day. And to me, that's a miracle.
That's
That is
amazing.
absolutely a miracle. I I, I can't go back. I could never go back. I could never go back to all those pills a day. I lost so much hope when I was on so many pills a day. And I think that in pharmaceutical companies' quest to cure things, they're forgetting that the body itself has a built-in system
Right.
that's called the endocannabinoid system. Oh my goodness. Speaking of endocannabinoids, it's about time for 420. We got about 2 minutes, and then we will be playing a 420 song. I have a feeling it's going to be one of our favorites. Yeah, Clan. I'm hoping it's Letter. The boss picked it out. I love that song so much. But okay, so we have 2 minutes. It's been, I think that they have forgotten the endocannabinoid system. And I think with all these restrictions that they have on cannabinoids, They've forgotten that there are many more plants with cannabinoids than just marijuana or hemp. And
Interesting.
that's one of the things that we're going to be discussing when we come back
Sweet.
from our music. Yeah, I mean, I was blown away with how many unbelievably common herbs have cannabinoids in them. There's a reason different food makes you feel sleepy or comfortable.
Interesting.
I know, right? This one's hard to time.
Wake and bake, I sip my coffee, twisting herb, that's my hobby. Can I kick it? Can I party? Me and my natives, get it started. Touchdown switch, I hit the target. Carving, sewing, painting, drawing. Make this money, split them profits. What I do, I know she wants it. Live my life, they reading comments. Moving silent, stacking comments. Numbers talking, I know they watching. I stay dreaming while I'm conscious. Seal for drip with the otter. Rose gold chain with the copper. Ravens, eagles, cling it hotter. Whales and wolves is wild style. I got a letter that was sent from me. Sent from me, sent from me. I get high. It always feels good to be. I got a letter that was sent from me. Sent from me, sent from me. I get high. It always feels good to be. Hey, hit or miss. This my hobby, smoking choke. This that chronic. Wish you could be in this party. All my natives getting started. I stay woke like the prophet spoken word. Let's see who follows. Clink at Haida. Who could have thought though? Like who would have thought though? I'm that native, really rapping. We go big. This ain't Texas. Check the rap. She ask who next is. Grizz and native stay invested. Fish and moose, we stay ingested. Manifest without a question. Changing life around the nations through our music, through our message. I'm that native. Sip my coffee. All the haters get up off me. Life is sweet, just like toffee. Can I kick it? Can I party? I'ma do me, that's regardless. See the hats and leather boots. See the trees and spruce roots. Check our names, we chiefs too. I got a letter that was sent from me. Sent from me, sent from me. I get high. It always feels good to be. I got a letter that was sent from me. Sent from me. I get high. It always feels good to be.
And we are back. I love that song so much. We interviewed them in an absolutely fantastic interview. Those guys, they're the real deal. They are the real deal. I can't wait for more of their music, and I really want to interview them again. It's true. So here we go. Cannabinoids. And everyone talks terpenes, and you talk this, and we talk everything about it. But sometimes we don't get down to like the bare. Here's the different cannabinoids themselves. And I knew this, but I had started doing research. Blew my mind. I'm looking up, and they're like, oh, yeah, cacao has cannabinoids. And I went, say what?
that why we like it so much?
Yes, actually, it is a cannabinoid called anandamide. I'm sure I butchered the pronunciation. It's Anandamide. This particular cannabinoid helps bring feelings of, it's a relaxation, it is a comfort one, it's an anti-anxiety. And so that is quite a lot of the reasons why when people have chocolate, you get that nice, warm, cozy, relaxed feeling,
Interesting.
all without knowing that it is actually got a cannabinoid in it. How's that for some knowledge? Oregano.
Okay.
Italian food, you have that oregano. Everyone's so happy, relaxed afterwards. And you have that wonderful family warm feeling every time you eat Italian food.
Heck yeah.
Oregano has a cannabinoid in it that is one of the closest to the actual marijuana type cannabinoids. So those old stories of the people smoking oregano and being all giggly because they were getting, well, maybe they were getting actually a little bit high.
There you go.
Maybe they weren't just being ridiculous after all.
Oh goodness.
Sage. You know, everybody eats that turkey and sage stuffing and all of that. Sage also has
So it's
cannabinoids
not
in
just
it.
the carbs making me
It
tired.
is not just the or the tryptophan in the turkey. It's not just the carbs in the tryptophan. That sage has a cannabinoid that is anti-anxiety and for sleeping.
Sweet.
So
Makes so
don't
much
do
sense.
sage stuffing for don't do sage on your sausage for breakfast, maybe, because maybe that's why everybody wants a nap after Sunday brunch.
There you go.
Right? Now, echinacea has something that acts very similar to cannabinoids. It's more of an enhancer to cannabinoids, actually. And it interacts with your B12 receptors. So what they produce that's very close to a cannabinoid interacts with your B12 receptors. So I thought that was pretty cool. And for a long time they thought it was a cannabinoid.
Interesting.
Now here's a really surprising one. Or not. Black pepper. Black pepper has beta carotene. Carotene? Yes, I think that's how you say it. And it is a terpene that is commonly found in many cannabis strains, and that is what brings out the peppery smell,
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
right?
I mean, I know I've said that
So,
like 3 times now, but it
no,
makes
but I mean, like, the more you know, like, until I started, I knew the pepper one, but there's several of these I didn't know. So, especially oregano being so close.
right.
Now, this one, we need like to raise pigs or something so we can get black truffles. Because it is also anandamide producing, along with, along with cannabis and cacao. The black truffle also produces that.
Sweet.
Okay, beer drinkers. Yes, Rebecca, you are right. Chewing peppercorns can help when you've had a little too much RSO. I have done
Oh
that
wow.
myself.
I've never heard of that, but
It it really, I don't know why, and I don't know what exactly it does, but it definitely prevents the green hangover. So, Okay, so where was I? Oh, yes. This one is for there's never too much RSO. Mostly, I actually agree with that statement. It's so true. There you go. Good job. I was just about to get to the hops. The boss knows the no. The boss knows the no. I had the best boss. I'm trying to find any more surprises.
Hi, Missy.
Hi, Missy. Chinese rhododendron. Even that beautiful flowery rhododendron. Surprisingly, carrots, turmeric, magnolias,
Okay.
and sunflowers are just a few. And as scientists are going on, they're finding even more plants, especially in South America for some reason. It's got cannabinoids in it, but it can make you less high. Different cannabinoids do different things for you. Thanks, Melissa. So they're finding even more. That was my cat. Never mind. She just knocks the stuff over.
Doing cat doing cat things, obviously.
Right? You just can't help it. But they're finding more that are even more similar to the majority of the cannabinoids and terpenes that are so similar to the marijuana type in South America right now. There's a lot of research going on about it. I'm pretty excited to see what happens. I myself have a tendency to think that marijuana or hemp is almost a perfect plant. You can make rope, you can build houses with hemp, you can make clothing. Hello, Summer. So good to see you. Guys, Summer just popped in. And if you don't know, Summer from Safe Access for Patients, I love her show. She is where I don't use certain papers or rolls anymore because they do that testing and they find out what is really going into our marijuana, what is really going into these wraps. And when blunt wraps are coming back and have pesticides in them,
Right.
that just takes
that.
no. And when you are doing it like we are for medical purposes, that just is so nonsensical. You can't treat yourself in a positive medical way while while you're getting poisoned with pesticides.
Right.
And Summer is really, and they're taking people to task and they're saying, hey, you can't do this to our medicine. And we need a lot more people like Summer in this world. And the testing is expensive, but in the end, so worth it. And more people in Oklahoma, there is some of the actual marijuana that gets smoked that is sent to the dispensaries that the marijuana itself has pesticides on it.
Ooh.
And that is the first thing as a smoker or a grower you were taught to never do to your plants is to put a pesticide on it because that is so harmful to the body. So safety in smoking is huge, especially oh, I love you, lady. I do. You are incredible. And I love watching. She's on Sundays. If you get a chance, definitely follow her because staying safe with our medication is so important. There's so many big corporations that would like to just take over all of marijuana and tell us, well, you only get what we're going to give you.
Right.
And we didn't make marijuana legal to have that happen. We fought long enough to have it our way. Kind of like Burger King. Just a little bit. Yes, click the thumbs up, subscribe, do all the fun stuff. We're doing really good on followers, which is fun. Anyways, so now you're more into concentrates, and I actually wanted to cover what had you sliding more into
Speak, Granny, speak.
Yeah, I think we're frozen.
I don't
It's
think.
really windy outside here, so.
Well, you and I are hanging out. Everybody else is still here. They're still typing. Granny just froze.
Granny's back.
I'm back.
She's
I
back.
have no idea what just happened.
Yeah.
I thought it was me at first because I can just hear the wind outside. It's awful.
Yeah, the wind is crazy. The wind is crazy here too. And apparently we're supposed to get a blizzard tonight.
I heard that too. I'm not looking forward to it.
It was 60 degrees all day. I don't know why we're getting a blizzard tonight, other than Mother Nature in Michigan. All right, we are unfroze now. We can go back to talking about weed.
So we were talking about concentrates.
Yes, and why you made the switch from more of the edibles and smokables to the concentrate smokables.
Honestly, I think it's probably the potency because I can take like one dab and be roasted.
Okay. That makes
So
sense.
it's been really nice. I mean, I've mentioned this before. I do lean towards the indicas more. I'm
Right.
not a huge fan of sativas. I can tolerate a hybrid, but I prefer the indicas. So
And I have found for me also as well with headache pain, with things that have to do with my PTSD or trauma, it is easier for me to stay on an indica and keep myself level and easier to sleep at night. Sativa has to be the right sativa. Really, it does. Or it can jump my anxiety.
absolutely.
And there's a balance that we all have to find with that. I tell everybody starting out slow and low with everything that you do.
Yeah.
Because you owe it to yourself to find the right dose for you. Where you have less of the pain, less of the anxiety, but you're not like nodding off in the middle of, trying to cook
You
dinner.
can still function.
Yeah. Or you're like not taking 25 naps a day.
Right.
Good. Occasional napping is,
Right.
not a bad thing. Not a bad thing.
But if the whole day turns into napping, that might not
That's
be
a problem. See, and that was one of the reasons why I got off the different medications the doctors had me on. Because one of the biggest side effects of some of the meds they had me on was making you tired. And I wanted to live my life. And as much as stoners are made fun of, that we're all kind of and not necessarily doing anything, I have to tell you from all the stoners I know, we're really busy people.
We are, yeah.
We get a lot of stuff done.
Going on.
I mean, yes, we do like to kick back and relax when we need it. But I have seen stoners accomplish things that are pretty damn incredible.
Absolutely.
And again, too, it's about use. It's about, I had someone that I had made some candy for, and she got a hold of me and she was like, "Hey, I've been sticking with, how you told me to do it and everything." And she goes, "It's amazing for anxiety." She goes, I don't
Yeah.
have the anxiety. I'm relaxed. She goes, "But I'm not like stoned. And I said, "Then that's exactly where you need to be." And that was, who's running off with your stuff?
Oh, the heater started going off because I'm out in the garage and we have one of like those salamander heaters. And I think my
Yes.
brother left it plugged in. I didn't even know it was on because I've been sitting out here for, well, almost an hour.
Almost an hour. Yes. Yes. So I'm going to ask people in the chat if there's any questions you have for Kenzie about what she goes through, and different strains that she prefers for specific pains. I have my specifics that I like for pain, but everybody always has something different that might work for you too. So
Right.
I'm actually going to ask you, when you have significant pain, what is one of your favorite strains?
Oh, goodness.
I know it's hard, but
I have a few. I mean, it depends. There have been some with like some of the cream pies, kind of. There's like a sherb cream pie. There was a black sherbet.
ooh,
So
nice
I found like most of the sherbet kind of
strains.
strains have been really nice. If they're indica.
Right.
And
What
then,
strain do you prefer, actually? Rich wants to know what strain you prefer.
ooh, it depends on what I'm smoking. I really like ice cream cake for the bud. I can't always get my hands on it, but wedding cake is another one.
Yes.
Again, probably, the cake kind of theme with that. Um,
Well, what I
sometimes
like
they
about
tend
the
to
cake
have,
ones is they do have that vanilla-y, cakey
right,
sort of, but it's not so sugary that you're like,
right.
"Well,
It's not like earthy, but it's also not overwhelmingly
sweet."
sweet or anything.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. Like right
Yep.
now, I've got sherb cream pie in a cured resin. Amazing.
That sounds pretty darn good to me. That sounds
It's
pretty
nice.
darn good. Karen smokes 95% indica for pain. 5% of the time it will be more party than pain. Heck yeah.
That's
And there
okay.
is nothing
You gotta have
wrong.
a party when you're not in pain, you
And
know?
honestly, sometimes if you're still in pain and you get that party feeling and you still have that little bit of pain, you deserve the party feeling
Exactly.
or having to deal with the pain. That's my opinion.
Heck yeah.
Yep,
That's true.
absolutely. Yeah, it is. It is. And honestly, I think that's one of the best parts of having cannabis as your medicine as well, is you don't have to pick up alcohol, you don't have to pick up anything else to get you to that extra happy,
See,
relaxing
that's the thing
place.
is like
You
I've
just have
never
to,
really cared for alcohol. Um,
ooh, motor
Motor
breath.
breath.
That's good stuff.
Like yeah.
I'm an old school girl though, like Gorilla Glue, that's my jam. I love
Gorilla
Gorilla
Glue
Glue.
has some really good.
It really does. And I love True Blue. It's that little bit of almost a blueberry fruity flavor.
Right.
Yes, I like weed too.
Yeah.
Now the alien strains, the alien well, there was Alien Glue, Alien Tech.
Oh,
There's
Alien Tech was so good. I forgot
right,
about that one.
right, and that Alien Tech for stomach problems can be such a huge thing. So I have some Alien Tech that I mix with some True Blue. Cross your fingers, I'm phenotype testing it this summer. We'll see
Please.
what happens. I would love that pleasant taste of the True Blue, but get that stomach
The relief.
easing
Yeah.
of, yeah. So I look forward to those different things. We haven't really discussed it before, but Kenzie here also used to grow as well.
I did. Yep.
Yep.
For a short
Actually, my
time.
sugar cookie strain that I had was originally from her.
Oh, yes. I forgot about
Yes,
that.
it was. And the Miracle Alien cookie strain.
I've
Ooh,
never tried that
yeah.
one.
Yeah. That, yeah. So, though, I still have the holy grail that I want, which was Colombian gold, not Acapulco gold, Colombian gold. I had it once in my life in my early 20s and I've never forgotten it. And when you remember it this very, very many years later, it was really good. But that wouldn't have been a medical one. That was just pure enjoyment. I mean, maybe medically it did some good because I was obviously not feeling any pain that night, but
Right. Definitely more for the enjoyment factor.
that one definitely was more for the enjoyment factor. Definitely. Those long red hairs were just so pretty. They really were.
There was
Um,
one, I got some concentrate a couple weeks ago, and it was sour apple runts, and the
really?
taste was, well, first the smell, phenomenal, and it tasted just the same. You could really taste like the fruity sour. It was so good. They were out of
Now,
it this last time.
with the concentrates and they're adding flavoring, does that concern you? Like with the flavor
It's
added?
not necessarily the flavor added as it is derived from like each strain.
Right.
Because there are some that just taste like straight ugh.
Like somebody melted
So
a Jelly Rancher and wants you to smoke it.
right. Right.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to
So like
me,
that was
to me, it tastes toxic. And to me, that can't be healing. That's just how
yeah.
I feel about it.
I mean, I've never had a strain where it was just this overwhelming fake kind
Taste.
of,
Right.
I don't know how else to explain it.
No, fake works because there's a lot
Yeah.
of synthetic cannabinoids out there right now. There's a lot of fake strains, THC.
Right.
People are messing around in different laboratories trying to recreate it. And why mess with perfection?
And then also like from when it was
There you
populating
go,
in the
Becca. Yeah,
60s,
I agree.
it is not the same potency
No,
as it
no.
originally as the original plant is. So they're adding all of these, you get 80-90% THC, which yeah, it's great for the high in this, but
For this one moment, but what
is
I
it
mean,
natural?
there is too much of a good thing. If you keep it natural,
Right.
then your body's going to say, well, no, we got enough in our system. We're going to like go nighty night right now. But
Right.
when in that short period of time before it fully hits your body, you're smoking that much and nailing yourself with that much.
And that's kind of where I know a lot of people are skeptical on if it's a thing. The cannabinoid hyperemesis. Um, and it is a real thing,
It
but
is. I think that it is.
I feel like it is a lot. The reason why we're hearing about it now is because people are doing all these different things to these plants.
Or
Um,
they're doing a strain that's absolutely the wrong strain for them.
I mean, it could be a number of things,
But I
but yeah.
think also, yeah, when it's too strong, the instant you put it in your body's going to go,
And if you're
whoa, we got
doing,
to get it out. And
long-term use of that, it's yeah. I
yeah,
mean, and since you were talking about other foods having cannabinoids, if you get too much of that, it's gonna make you sick.
Exactly.
You know, too much of
Exactly.
anything is gonna make you sick.
Hmm. So
So,
really, with the medical marijuana, it's a complete package. You have to be careful of your own. You have to learn how to adapt your
right.
cannabinoid system to not just what you're smoking or eating, as far as cannabinoids, but other parts of your diet too. Right, Becky, yes. Cannabis derived terpenes are definitely the thing.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yes,
that's what I
yes,
was
Summer.
kinda hinting at,
Yep.
because of how it's been changed over the years, you know, they're trying to get, you know, the most for your, you know, most bang for your buck kind of thing. But is it really necessary?
And
You
if
know,
you're
are you gonna
using it
fix
for
something that's not broken?
exactly, exactly.
So
Your
that's
body
just my
knows what
take
to
on
do
it.
with it, and if you just put too much in, the result that you're gonna get is not
I
necessarily.
mean, they've done some really good things with, you know, cannabis over the years, but I just feel like
Oh,
that is something that
absolutely.
has been a weakness.
Yeah,
So,
no, you're right. You're right. And I think that in our industry, those of us that are really here for medical and who are so relieved that we finally have it legalized, we're all like, don't, like, don't add more stuff to it and make people sick. They're gonna take it away again. That's kind of how I
right.
feel sometimes. And I agree. In the 80s, it was amazing. You wouldn't know that, but
I wouldn't, but I mean, from what
as your aunt can tell you. Trust me.
I mean, I've heard great things. One can only dream, but
Well, we're gonna round up. I just want to thank you so much for being here.
oh, thank
I'm
you for
glad that we
having
could
me.
catch
It's
up.
always
And
fun.
I also, again, do just because I'm me, want to remind you that Kenzie's mom is the lovely lady that
I
makes
have mine too.
the Granny Cannabis
I have my
bong.
name on it.
Yes, which
So
is amazing.
it
So,
stays in our little smoking area down here.
I love it. I love it. Thank you again so much.
Yeah,
And
thank you.
congratulations and thank you for all the work that you do.
Thanks.
All right, guys, have a fantastic night. Actually, stay tuned because in about 9 minutes or
Ooh.
so, we are going to be interviewing Root C. I said it right. I have a problem with that word, ROOT. I don't always pronounce it right, but Root C is going to be here. And I really enjoy their music. They are fantastic. They are absolutely
Sweet.
fantastic. Oh, Rebecca, thank you so much. So thanks, guys. Have a great night, and I will see you in a few minutes
Bye.
in the green room with the hippie.
Up your mind and your endo system. She's the queen of green, better not forget 'em. It's Medical Monday, pull up a chair. Granny Cannabis is always gonna care. From pain relief to feeling blessed, Granny's ganja wisdom is the best. Well, honey, I've seen it all. From prohibition days to dispensary praise. And one thing